Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mabinogi, where I have misplaced Ruby. There we go. I logged off and back in so that I could get rid of the flashing technique, because that bothers me. Like, the thing flashing down there makes me think that there's something to look at down here, when there really isn't. It's just really annoying to me. It annoys me greatly. So, we're on our way off to Bangor, and I'm gonna go to more of an Isle, because going to the actual Bangor Moongate sucks. I think I mentioned that last time, but like in the Gen 20 or the Gen 2 stuff, I think I mentioned that when we were forced to come here for that. So, but before I get too involved in doing these quest lines, I want to head over to my squires. So unfortunately, something that you may know from the squires here is that every once in a while they have a unique piece of dialogue where you have to select a certain answer. Like they'll ask, they'll say, I want to learn about something specific. You'll give them a certain answer, and that answer will give them some kind of unique dialogue. Well, I've been doing, all of the squires here, no problem. And I was just going through Kana's things the other day when Kana did that to me. She gave me the unique dialogue, and I skipped halfway through it before I even realized it was the unique dialogue. I'm like, crap, I can't get that back. So unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we've missed this one. But the option was dating, and she said something about that her sister, who is very strongly hinted to be Evelyn. Not that you guys know who that is. Well, you might if you watch some of the Gen 1 because of the weird bugs that there was way back then. I don't know if it's still around now. I don't think it is. Where Divine Knight, it would start the Divine Knight's quest line, even though you were nowhere near ready for it. If you remember from that, back in Gen 1, we encountered Evelyn and Altam there. And it's heavily, very heavily insinuated that Evelyn is Kana's sister. No confirmation anywhere in the game, but it's very heavily hinted at. So a lot of people just take that as canon. It's like, oh yeah, she's, Evelyn's sister and yada yada. And so that's, the general consensus amongst Mobby players and fans, is that they are, sisters. But basically, she says something along the lines of like, oh, my sister recently found herself a guy that she likes. She's really taken a liking to them, has started dating him, and she's just kind of like, I don't really understand, love or anything like that. One day maybe I would like to learn and understand, That's what Kana tells you, basically. So, it's kind of cute. But again, unfortunately, we ended up missing that because of the fact that I had done that. But I did notice that okay. I totally missed that for a moment. I was very, very confused. I didn't see which one he wanted there at first. That took me a moment to realize. But I did notice that with Erilyn over here, she's on her unique one. Or if she's not on it, she's very close to it. So I didn't want to grab that until I was recording. And then in the last like 3 episodes that I've recorded, I've completely forgotten that I needed to grab that. Come on, computer. Stop being frozen. Google Chrome likes to freeze on my computer, on my laptop here. And I know what you're probably all thinking, why are you using Google Chrome? Because it is a memory hog. Problem is that literally every other browser I've ever seen is more of a memory hog than Google Chrome. At least on my laptop. I've tried using Firefox, but it doesn't even load. It just loads, like it opens up and then it crashes because it doesn't have enough memory to run. It's very annoying. So let's see. You want to talk about playing, right? Let's see. Is this? Yes, it is indubitably. Or maybe it's not. It is not. No. We're at 6%. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. Cooking. What about this one? Do you want to talk about training? Here it is. Train. So, normally this one, her hint should be mission, and the answer is training. But because we're at 8% or 6.7%, her hint is training, and the word is fashion. So this will be unique dialogue. Things are so terrible here. I haven't been able to take care of my skin. Look, the tops of my hands have gotten rough. The blister on the palm catches your eye. Pretend you did not see it. Ask about the blister. What are you looking at? Focus. Surely you didn't think these blisters are from training, right? You need to understand, this is all lack of skin care. Don't treat me like common folk. Oh my, look at the time. This is your last chance. Try to redeem yourself. Alright, and then that one did increment, so dating is cooking. There we go. Like I said, if it wasn't going to be... Like, if it wasn't the first one, I figured it would be the second one, because it's 6.7%. So that's neat. Alright, so now that I've done that, I am completely out of training points. I have literally 1. So I'm going to have to send Kana on a mission. But I have been training her, and she is strong enough to do the collect daily logs. I want to look at the tier 4 one, though. She's almost able to do that, the supply box. What about this? Yes! She can do Red Shadow now, so I'm going to send her on Red Shadow. Because that's the next tier mission. After that, it's the Mad Seer's Altar, which is 8 and 8. So, and in case you're wondering, well, Serene, if, like, these ones are 0, right? And these 2 are 8. Why not just train these skills? The reason for that is because these 2 skills are just for the basics Beltane seals. Once you move further on, you'll see right here, Faded Traces, it has 3 targets. Same with Missing Girl, it has 3. And you'll see, we're still getting basic seals here, but you'll notice that now it requires 3 different skills. So my goal here is just to keep their skills pretty well balanced together as I level. So that way, when I hit something like this, where it's been the strength, or the divination and the dexterity here that I've been leveling, and suddenly it goes to strength, will, and luck, I'm not losing out on that. Also, in order to get these special Beltane supply boxes, you have to have all 6 skills at a certain tier. And so basically, if I want to get these, I mean, they're one-time quests. If I want to get these Beltane boxes, I have to do all 6 of these. And so it's just easiest to train up all 6 skills like that, all together. That way you're able to just keep all of your characters the same. Because eventually you are going to reach the end of all of this. And you can see here, level 18, command level 18, it requires all 6 skills to be at whatever tier. And these skills, I can't click on them yet, but this one here, Suspicion of Betrayal, is 450 in every single skill. One squire has to meet that. So it really is just the best option, as far as I've seen, to just level all of your skills together and just keep leveling that way. Kamgan. I don't think we've met before. My name is Kamgan. I'm the priest of this town. Nice to meet you. It's a relief to see you, Serene, just as I expected. More and more of the god statues in the dungeons near Bangor are being destroyed. We have no army or militia here. If those statues aren't repaired, we'll have no way to defend ourselves against the Fomors. I spoke with James about this, and he says Archbishop Willow has already asked your help. I can restore the statues myself, but I'll need you to eliminate the nearby Fomor so I can complete the ritual in peace. James was working near the dragon ruins. He will lead you to the dungeon with the broken goddess statue. May the goddess be with you. So we have to go see Seamus in order to get the passes this time. I was getting a drink, so I really did only have one hand, but I also wasn't too concerned because I was already facing the direction of the exit here. So, not too big of a deal. I'm gonna need the laptop for a while because Kana is off on a mission. And that is gonna last, I think it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours. While I could technically go and talk to the different squares without, while Kana's on her mission, I'm not doing that just because, I don't really need to. Oh, hey, I can fly here. Let me fly over here then. It'll be faster. Neat. I didn't know I could fly in this area. Dragon statue excavation site. Oh, I can't fly in this spot, though. Better to increase my altitude if I want to move. There's no reason I need to increase my altitude there, but that's just the way it's coded. So, but yeah, it means I can't fly out of here, so I have to get out before I can fly. Oh, Serene, I've been waiting for you. Wait, let me just catch my breath for a minute. Okay, let's just get to the point here. So the god statue of Barri Dungeon is slowly chipping away. It is being destroyed. Excuse me, everyone's coming out to help preserve it. But somehow we're still short of help. The most important task right now is getting rid of all the Fomor in Barri. Can you help? Apparently this is the only way Kamgan can perform the restoration ritual on the statue. In the Barri Dungeon, all you really need to worry about are the imps and goblins. But I've also heard that ogres appear as well from time to time. So you'll have to be careful. You probably already know. But you can bring your friends to help too. Alright, take this. You want to go to Barri Dungeon where you can find the damaged goddess statue, you'll have to use this pass. Seamus hands you the pass. I figure this is not your first time doing this, so I won't bother going into too much detail. Oh, if you somehow fail to restore the dungeon and need more passes, come back to me and ask about the Bangor Dungeon Restoration Pass materials. By the way, Barri Dungeon isn't the only dungeon that needs to be restored, you know. Fiodh Dungeon needs to be restored as well. Well, we can talk about that later, after you've restored Barri. Okay then, I'll be waiting for your return. Alright, in case you're wondering why the characters will be like, hey, I don't know you, but then they'll turn around and be like, oh, I do know you. There's actually an in-game reason for that. Because you are a Militian, and because you're able to change your appearance and just about every aspect of you, the people know you as you were. But every time you rebirth, it sets all of the characters to not knowing you anymore. Whoa, I don't know why I went backwards there. Because the general idea being that you've changed your appearance, you've become somebody, something else, You've gotten younger, you've gotten older, you've changed your hair, you've changed your face, you've changed your, everything that you can customize, you may have changed. And so they don't know you anymore until you're like, hey, I'm Serene, and then they're like, oh, okay, because they see you, and it's the first time they've met you in your current form. But then you're like, I'm Serene, we've met like multiple times before, and then they're like, oh right, yeah, we have. I didn't even recognize you, that kind of thing. And they do explain that. I don't remember when. It may have actually been in the first generation. It may have been one of the books I didn't read. Because there is a book that Tarlac has you get at one point about the Militians. And that's basically what the book says. It's like, we don't know the Militians because of this, Uh-oh. Rory. The Rory. However you say the name. Destroy the statue of the goddess. Destroy the gift of God that shields this foolish false world of humans from others. Only a human can pass through the barriers, after all. The statues... The statues can't... the statues block the Femors. They can't go there. Only a human could do that. A human can lead a Femor, but the Femors cannot get there themselves. This level of deceit and fallacy the humans live in, I'll destroy them all with my bare hands. So yeah, now you see why the statues are being destroyed. It's because Rory is destroying them. Oh, here's the restoration cutscene for this, but I think I still have to do it anyway. Actually, this is how they do all the restoration cutscenes after this, is by doing that. But according to this, I actually still have to do that. Cutscenes will play as you enter the dungeon and each floor. Oh my god, so it is still bugged out. I think it's supposed to skip, but it doesn't, and so then it sends you into the dungeon. Let's see. Yep, Clearberry Dungeon. You still have to actually do the dungeon. Oh well. I'll just have to skip over the cutscene when we get to the next one. It's really not that big of a deal. It's a free MMO, and you have to remember that this MMO has been around actually longer than World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft started being made in 1999 and released in 2004. I don't know when this started getting coded, but it released in 2003 in Korea. In America, it's been out since 2006, but in Korea, it's been out since 2004, or 2003. And so that is technically longer, though only a few months, than World of Warcraft. And while World of Warcraft has had expansions to go in and, modify things in the world, fix glitches, things like that, Cataclysm, for example, went in and did all that for the vanilla world, Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms. Mabinogi has not had anything like that. They've had updates to some of the old content, that's why it's letting me skip some of these, but not all of that stuff worked exactly the way that it did. And because there's only a very small group of people working on this, it's not like World of Warcraft where there's an entire company of hundreds upon hundreds of employees working on the game. There's only 20 or 30 people max that work on Mabinogi. And because that's all they can afford, because it's a free MMO, you know. They only get enough money from, you know, people buying the in-game items. And unfortunately, that's nowhere near as much money as World of Warcraft brings in. They do have a VIP system that you can get that is like $15 a month. Absolutely. But World of Warcraft costs $15 a month to play the game along with Item Shop. This game is free, but you can get the VIP for $15 a month. And with 1 million players worldwide, that's vastly different than World of Warcraft's, you know, 12 million or whatever it was recently reported. That one. So, you kind of have to excuse the fact that this game is not as polished as it could be. And now I was going to play this cutscene again, because I've moved to a different floor. And it's supposed to be skipping the dungeon, but doesn't. It's just that. And they also haven't gone in and updated a lot of the older content in a long time. This old content, generations 1 through 3, haven't seen any kind of update since like 2013 or something like that. Back when Generation 16 came out. Whoops. I thought that was going to be a mimic, and then it was not. Goodbye. Also, I have no idea what these young potions are, but I never pick them up. Because they don't stack, and they just end up filling your inventory. I've not seen a use for them. Oh, frick, I'm out of Dorcha. I have one Dorcha. Well, I knew he was going to be fake, so... Boom! There we go. I do need to keep better track of my Dorcha. I have a tendency to not keep good track of it and end up, you know, out of Dorcha. But this is why it also tends to be so easy to level the Dorcha Snatch and Dorcha Mastery and stuff like that. Because I'll either use up all of my Dorcha and then I'll end up doing this, where I just keep killing enemies and killing enemies, and then forgetting to use my other skills. Or I just don't even bother using skills in the first place, you know? It's like, well, I'm gonna be out of Dorcha eventually, so, you know. It's unfortunate. But it does make for easy leveling of those particular skills. And I mean, regardless, like, the only thing that you have to worry about with those skills is the fact that your Chain Blade affects your Judgment Blade. I don't know where it says, but it says it somewhere. It says it somewhere. I just don't remember where. Here it is. Yeah, Chain Blade damage. It's in your Chain Blade Mastery. That's why I couldn't find it. Judgment Blade damage, negative 20%. And that's not something any of us have to worry about anytime soon. Judgment Blade doesn't even come into play until Gen freaking 19. So, it's really good for early game, like early level players, basically. Ooh, I successfully collected Imp. Didn't even know that I could collect the Imp transformation yet. Neat. I don't even know what my transformation skills are at this point. I'm gonna have to look that up if I really want to actually sit down and collect transforms. I'm not too worried about it. It does give bonus stats. Like, the more transformations I collect, the more HP and stamina I'll get. So it is nice. But it's like you get one for each transformation. So like, if you have 20 transformations, that's 20 stamina. If you have one transformation, that's like 1 stamina. But if you get like 100 of them, then it actually feels like it's worth it, you know? Oh, something just ranked up. I don't know what. Let me see. Chainblade Mastery ranked up. Neat. Amateur Slasher. Neat. That one was fake. What is it? Hang on. I need to actually look at that. Yeah. Vortex of Emotions. Anchor Rush. Okay. I have not even been touching Anchor Rush, really. But that's the one I really need to get. Ooh, ingredient hunting. Okay. That's random. Like, I know that it's because, you know, enemies have been dropping stuff and that counts as ingredient hunting. It's just like, oh, okay. And freaking ingredient hunting. Out of freaking nowhere, you know? I didn't expect that. It's always a surprise when that's perfect rank. Because it's like, oh, that means that's been trainable for a while. I haven't been paying attention to it. So, is ingredient hunting like 130? So like, yeah, if I perfect train that, that means that I've been able to train it for a while. But it's one of those skills that you don't realize that you're leveling. Because it's so just like passively gained. Ooh, another small red gem, I'll take that. I just need to I need to collect one more imp transformation. And then I will have the imp level. There we go. Finish collecting imp. Neat. I can turn into an imp now. Oh yeah, speaking of transformation, that's what I usually use for getting around dungeons. I've actually not been doing that this time. I just realized. Bam! I will note that I have not leveled all of my skills up on my main character in the way of Chain Slash. Also, there's some of these Chain Slash skills which even once you've gotten the ability to like do the thing, like do the quest, like the quest itself is just really freaking hard. Or it just takes a very long time. So, I should be using my Anchor Rush right there. Chain Impale can now be upgraded. Okay, I'll take that. Real quick. Same with Chain Crush. Take both of those. I don't have enough Dorcha. There we go. Just about everything with Chain Slash requires Dorcha, though. The only thing that doesn't is this ability. You missed. Nice thing about Chain Slash is it is technically a ranged skill. Goodbye, Leah. Like I said, pets, not the best to have until you get Divine Link, as you can see. Oh, please don't tell me I'm getting disconnected. Nope, he just bugged out. There he goes. Oh, he died. I was gonna say, I don't really want to do this entire dungeon again, just because I got disconnected at the end. My router hasn't been working properly. Every once in a while, it'll just turn itself off for about 10 seconds, and then turn itself back on. I don't know why it does that, but there's absolutely no tells that it's about to do that, and there's absolutely no way to know that it did it until it does that. So, oh hey, here's the actual cutscene. I think, again, that other cutscene was supposed to be the cutscene for skipping, but then, of course, it does, like, this is the actual clear cutscene. So, my head's twitching! It's just something bugging out with the camera and the way that that's... The way that the thing that they're looking at is set up. The thing, whatever it is that they're looking at, twitches for whatever reason. ahead and deactivate that. Do I even have any phoenix feathers in my inventory? Yes, I do. Okay. I was gonna say, I don't usually, like, I carry a lot of them on my main, but I did not know if I carried any of them on here. Because, like, I only ever really use this for, you know, YouTube, so I don't really need to carry them all that much. So, alright. Yeah, thank you, Fire Shield. You can go away now, please. I need to be able to see. Alright, now back to Seamus. To get the next one. I'll probably just keep using Leah here to fly for now because I've already got her out. I can use her to fly as well. Whee! I just love Blanid's look on her face as she's carrying me. It's like, you're so heavy. Especially here, she has the funniest look on her face, and her eyes go red too. If you can see that over my my nameplate there, her eyes go red because she's annoyed. She's like, "Why do I have to carry you everywhere?" And now she's happy because she's like, "Oh yeah, I can put you down. I don't need to carry you anymore. Goodbye, kitty." Oh, sweet. How was Barri Dungeon? Okay. Now around here, there's Fiodh Dungeon. Take this first. Seamus hands you the pass. Procedure is the same, and you can bring your friend along if you need one. Just so you know, Fiodh Dungeon is full of animals that are controlled by the Fomors. Don't underestimate them just because they are simple animals. We may end up as lunch for one of them. Oh, hang on. Suddenly a freaking massive itch hit me. Please come back and see me once the restoration in Fiodh Dungeon is complete. Can't personally check every part of the restoration process. Thank you. Alright. Fiodh. Restricted from landing and taking off from this area. Of course. I knew that. Whee! Flying over the land again. I know there's something over there. Oh yeah, Reynard. The Reynald. Something over there for one of the later quests, I think, in the game. I don't immediately remember. Fiodh Dungeon, right up here. I could have actually just flown up here. It's alright, so this is why I keep thinking Fiodh and Coil, because they look exactly the same. Got it. So I'm not confusing Fiodh and Coil after all. Because they are, in fact, exactly the same. But no, this is actually Fiodh Dungeon that I was remembering. Yeah, I gotta actually do the dungeon, even though you supposedly are showing that I don't. I get it, you're bugged out. And I put away Blanid without even thinking. So let me just grab up Ruby again. Goodbye, Snake. Goodbye, you. Goodbye, Snake. There's a lot of snakes here. So it's interesting because the snakes are normal animals, but they are considered to be Fomor anyway. And that's just because of the fact that they're being, like, they're not actually Fomor, but they're being controlled by the Fomor using ancient scrolls and ancient magic that gives them control over these creatures. As you progress through, you'll every once in a while collect Fomor scrolls from these things. And those are like the magics that are controlling them, basically. So, it's not that they themselves are Fomors, but It's that they're controlled by the Fomors. And there are actually quests to gather up like the scrolls and stuff. To kind of suppose, you know, the idea is that it's supposed to be so that you're helping like release the control the Fomors have on them. So, but of course it's an MMO, so it never you never fully save anybody. So, hey, Bakram. That means I just got a bunch of, see, there's the Jackal Fomor scroll. I just got a bunch of Dorcha, and one of the best things you can do if you're trying to level your Anchor Rush is get that Bakram boost, and then just sit here and use Anchor Rush over and over again, because you'll get Dorcha, like massive amounts of Dorcha from your Bakram boost, and then you can just do that, and bang. That was not the skill that I just leveled, that was Anchor Rush. But still, the idea is that, you know, you can use that Bakram boost to sit there and level your Anchor Rush. This works until Anchor Rush reaches about rank A. At that point, it starts requiring you to actually like do more than just using the skill. And at that point, you actually have to like do certain things to actually get it, you know. Out of those two, there it is. It can take a moment to notice which one the real one is, so. But yeah, again, it does the support puppet. I could do this without. In fact, I normally do my dungeons without the support puppet. But this makes it faster in the recording if I don't sit there and fight a massive amount of enemies. And also, there's going to come a dungeon where we're basically going to have to use the support puppet. There are ways of doing it without, but the methods of doing it without are so ridiculously insane that it's not even funny. It really isn't. So, like, it is so hard to do the special dungeon here in Gen 3 without a thing. Let me put it this way. I did that particular special dungeon that you'll see later in this. I did it 20 times. I still didn't even complete the first floor. Actually, I think it only has one floor. But I did it 20 times. And I did not get through it. I used the support puppet. I get through it first try. You might say, well, that just, you know, kind of proves that, you know, it just makes it easier. I would feel like it's the opposite. That kind of proves that you need it, in my opinion. You know, if it's taking you, if it's just so hard that you end up basically needing it, no. You know, I'm going to use it when we get there. I might try one run without it just so you can see what I mean about how ridiculous that dungeon is without it. But we'll find out when we get there. It's still a ways down the road, so we have to do all of these goddess statues first. And then we get to find out why they're breaking the goddess statues. I mean, if it wasn't already obvious. But yeah. When we get to that point, we'll find out why they're breaking the goddess statues and what's really going on here. Because the truth is much more different than you might think it is. Also, I have freaking Max Dorcha. I should probably use some skills on some enemies here. Dang it! That blue snake moved. God dang it, Ruby. Trying to use this. Got it. Alright, I've used up some Dorcha now. Don't want to get controlled by the slaw, after all. I have no idea if I was pronouncing that right at all, or if I still am. Like if I'm pronouncing it wrong or anything, but it's how it's spelt, so that's what I assume it is slaw. It's Celtic though, so who knows? It's just like B-A-B-D-B or whatever is actually Bayo. Would never guess. In case you were wondering why, like earlier, the B-A-B-D-B-H or whatever, like I pronounced that Bayo, I actually looked that one up because I had to actually look it up for my own, like, information for my own, like, novels and stuff, because I'm using some of Celtic mythology in that. And I'm just like, Bayo? It's pronounced Bayo? The frick? So yeah, it's Celtic. Good luck figuring out how to pronounce it. So, if you know how to pronounce Celtic, good on you. But you probably don't, because it's so old that nobody really actually knows the way it was pronounced back then. It's just like they look at how we pronounce things now and kind of assume, you know, the way that the Celtic language is now, and kind of assume that that's how it's pronounced based off that. Nobody knows how to actually properly pronounce Celtic stuff. Not the old stuff, you know. Newer stuff, absolutely, because it's, you know, the current language. But the old stuff, nah. It's like, we don't really know, like, a lot of, like, the old mythos and stuff. Like, nobody knows who made the pyramids in Egypt, you know? Because that information has been lost to us over time, you know? We can sit here and speculate and say we know, but we actually don't have the slightest clue. Not enough to stop the target. Yeah, he had defense, but you know what? I attack fast. So I don't have to worry about his defense skill. Meh! HP, Dex, Luck, HP, Luck, and Strength. That's what I got from raising all of my skills there. Neat. Hello, herbs. Open the door using a dungeon room key. Oh my god, I totally forgot to stop this episode. I just noticed. We're at 40-some minutes. I missed to stop the episode after that last dungeon. Oh well. So this is a long episode. You guys don't mind. I hope. Hey, more stuff. Longer episode, more stuff, you know? Granted, whether it's exciting or not is another thing, just sitting here doing these dungeons. But, I mean, it's story progression either way, right? Just do like I do. Load up the video, watch it on a second monitor, just kind of listen, you know? Listen to what I'm saying, but not actually really watching, you know? I do that with almost all of my YouTube videos that I watch. I'll load them up on the second monitor here that I have, and I'll just kind of listen more than actually watch. So, but I do that though because, like, I like watching some people, but while people are entertaining, like, there's not a lot going on in some of their videos. Like, don't get me wrong, Captain Sparkles and Zine are absolutely entertaining, but when their episodes of Exoria are, okay, we're going to spend the entire episode sitting in front of the crafting GUI, like, not much to actually watch there, you know? Exoria is a very grindy series, same with the Sky Factories and things like that they were doing before. You know? Nothing wrong with those series at all. But it's, you know, good podcasty type stuff. That was also a mimic, even though I hit it twice. There's the real chest. That confused me, because that treasure chest was absolutely in range of my freaking attack. So I don't know why that happened. Oh hey, there's one of these no boss key ones that I was mentioning a couple episodes ago. Or it's a switch to open the door instead. Oh boy. I want to avoid the golem till the end because that golem is gonna hurt. Like, I've done this before. That golem can hurt. And if you kill the flying swords first, the golem doesn't hurt nearly as much. Just because you don't also have the flying golems. I mean, the golem himself still hurts just as much. But you don't have the flying swords jumping in and smashing you for freaking massive damage while you're trying to kill the golem. Then I can just sit here and wail on the golem because I don't have to worry about them. Clear Fiodh dungeon for the first time. Yeah, we saw this cutscene. Awesome. So that's the first time I've cleared Fiodh on this character. I mean, that kind of makes sense though. Because I don't remember clearing Fiodh on this character before. Really only clear the dungeons in cases like this where they're part of the like story and such on this character, so. And there you go, the statue's all fixed up now. Yay! Leave the dungeon, go back, talk to Seamus again. Yay! Alright, well, this has been a fun episode, I feel like. We're gonna go ahead and talk to Seamus real quick before we finish off. But then we'll go just finish off from there. Again, sorry that this episode kind of ended up being a lot longer than I expected. I definitely did not mean to do 2 dungeons in one episode like that. Make it go 50 minutes, but well, that's just me not paying attention to the fact that I was definitely at time before I even started that dungeon, so. Serene, you made it. Good work there. Thanks to your help, the statue of the goddess was restored. Thank goodness. But then, I have been hearing some news lately that concerns me greatly. I hear that someone is destroying the statues again. Knight in black armor. This is really not going the way I hoped. Please be careful. Oh, and please take care of the other towns, too. No problem, Seamus. No problem. And Christel's request. Over in Dunbarton. So we'll go ahead and do that. The next episode, those will be Rabbi and Math Dungeons. And then it looks like after that, it's Sierra and Elby Dungeons. So that's nice. And then after that, just a whole, just like the actual hard part of the generation. Probably the hardest part of Generation 3. Probably one of the single hardest parts of the whole game. Not the hardest, but one of. I'd probably put it 4th, maybe 5th hardest in the game. So, yeah, it's, you'll see what I mean. But anyway, I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to subscribe. Check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any of the episodes you might have missed. some odd reason it's not letting me hit F4. Am I disconnected? I have the feeling that I am. Because my skills and stuff aren't working. Or maybe it's just the flight skills not working? I'm not sure. No, I seem to have killed that one. Why is this? I don't know, that's weird. Now it's working. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe. Check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any of the episodes that you might have missed. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Let me just use this gate here real quick, and then I can do my see you later.